Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and the next review I want to do for you today is the Transformers Prime Voyager class, regular edition, not first edition, Bulkhead. Overall, pretty cool figure. He's a pretty cool character, and the figure suits him very nicely. It's not perfect, but I have to say it's pretty darn good. First things first, when you look at this figure, one of the first things you're going to notice is the Autobot logo up there. Now, it looks like it isn't done very well. I can't tell, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, if it had two different colors of red that they laid down on it, if it's supposed to be shading or what. It just doesn't look quite right, and maybe you can tell in the camera, maybe you can't. You're going to have to take my word for it. Either way, it doesn't look bad. If anything, just chalk it up to battle damage, and it'll be okay. Alright, let's get into it. He stands 6 inches tall to the top of his head, a little bit taller to those things. It comes with this big goofy thing and a small goofy thing. This little goofy blaster gun thing. I don't know. I don't like it. It's got the peg down here for a handle and then 2 peg holes up there. Solid black plastic. The mold's not terrible, I guess. Focus. But it's just kind of cheesy and hollow, so get rid of that. I guess if you want to give him a blaster, go ahead. Pegs into his hand, no problem. Bam, blaster. I don't really care for it though. And his iconic wrecking ball thing that he always turns his right hand into in the show, it is here. It's sculpted really well. It's nice. They made it clear. They made it gimmicky. They put a light on it. And normally I like things with lights on them, but this is just, it's too darn far. They went too far with it. This should be part of his hand. It should swap out with his hand, or at least just connect so it's kind of in line with his hand. But no, we don't have that. What we have is a big goofy thing he can hold here, which of course looks stupid. It's a giant brick, and his arm's not strong enough to hold it, so that sucks. And then of course when you do this, you've got the wrecking ball thing that comes out. So that's really junky. I don't like that. You can also peg it in back here if you want to. That doesn't really make it any better. It's just a big giant thing hanging off the side of his arm now, and it does that, and you can't even do it because of all the stuff in the way, and you wouldn't get it past his hand. So it's just kind of useless, not even kind of, pretty much completely useless. The one redeeming factor, which is just really a non-issue even, is due to the gearing in there and the gearing on the wrecking ball. As you do it, it spins. So I mean, it's cool. That's a nice feature. I could see maybe one of the TF customizers making this useful for something. Probably getting rid of this whole chunk up here, turning this into his hand. This would be cool, and if I get into Transformers, I'm going to customize it to do this. Put a hand here, make it swing down, and swap out with the ball so that when you flip the lever, the ball comes out still. And really, you don't need this big green thing at all. That's for the battery pack for the lights, it looks like. Yeah, so you get rid of the big green thing. You just put a little lever on there, hand folds down with the ball coming out, and you're good to go. But as it is, no good. Let's talk about the figure. Paint app's good, face looks good, the eyes are blue, everything else is painted effectively, appropriately. He's got the molded silver chin, painted face, green head, darker green on the inside of his crown piece. Lots of different colors in the molds. He's got some silver paint up here. These are black molded, these are green with dark green, some silver. The headlights are painted. Lots of contrast throughout the figure. Almost perfectly accurate in terms of general look. He's probably more of a V shape in the show, not so square here. A little narrower at the hips and bigger at the shoulders, chest area, but what are you going to do? Also in the show, the wheels tuck in kind of back here more, I think. But otherwise, he's pretty darn accurate. These shoulder pads here, when he comes in the package, they're kind of just folded like that. I'm going to stop saying kinda because I've been saying it a lot. But so open up the shoulder pads, fold them down, and it's pretty screen accurate. It looks really good. Doesn't have much of a backpack. Almost no backpack at all, just those wheel flaps, which if you leave them forward like this, they don't show too much from the back or from the front, and then from the side they're non-existent. So very nicely done with the backpack. A really good looking figure. Let's talk articulation. Head is on a ball joint, but due to his big chin, you don't get a whole lot of motion out of it. Pretty much just rotation. And then he has that little piece of helmet on the back of his head that kind of keeps his... I said it again. I said kind of again. Alright. Not too much motion forward and back, but side to side is good. And you can cock it side to side for a little extra expression, so that's very nice. Shoulder articulation. Kind of different than normal. I said it again. I can't stop saying kind of. It rotates. I need something to point with. I don't have a pointer. Yes, I do. Okay. Use my handy dandy screwdriver. It points. It points. I think I'm going crazy. It rotates right here at this seam. It's kind of just like... I'm going to stop reviewing if I say kind of again. Okay, it rotates there just like one of the thigh swivels, and then it has a pivot right there. That rivet goes through and it allows the shoulder to pivot on it. It's not a ball joint. It rotates that way over here and pivots this way right there. Then we have a swivel in the bicep. So so far he's got 3 joints, and that's pretty much just in the shoulder. Very nice so far. He also has the elbow joint that looks like it's geared and ratcheted and everything. It's just for looks. It's got 2 pivots, basically 2 riveted pivots. So it's a double jointed elbow, full range of motion, looks great. And it swivels down here as well. So his arms are just about perfect. They have great articulation, and they look good overall too. The hands do tuck in a little bit, but you're not going to want to do that in robot mode, so just leave them forward. So far he's really good. Waist articulation, pretty sure he has some. Does he not? Oh, he doesn't. Okay. I just opened this guy, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, he doesn't have any waist swivel, but he's pretty big, so you don't probably need it. Standard ball jointed hips, thigh swivel built in, single jointed knee. Pretty good range of motion for a bigger figure. The way they did that is nice. So almost 90 degrees there. That's pretty good. And then no articulation in the foot, unfortunately. But that's okay. Like we said, he's a big figure. You're probably not going to have him being too articulated in a pose. And he looks good. So he looks really good. So his robot mode, I'm going to give his robot mode a 9 out of 10. Could be better in that these wheels need to tuck in a little more, and that he has no foot articulation or waist articulation. Other than that though, he's just about perfect, so very pleased with this figure. I do recommend it. Let me get him transformed and we'll finish off the review. Alrighty, we have Bulkhead transformed into vehicle mode, whatever this vehicle is, kind of like a Humvee / ATV. I'm pretty sure he's bigger than an ATV, but I guess technically you can have an ATV that's big, because all that means is all-terrain vehicle. It doesn't have to be a little four-wheeler. So whatever he is, he's transformed. At first glance, he looks pretty good. I like him a lot. He has one of the best robot modes, and his vehicle mode is at least on par with the other ones. A couple complaints, I'll get to those in a second. First, well, I guess I'll get to those right now. First complaint is he has a nice window on the front. It's clear, blackish gray, smoked plastic. Moonroof going on, that's nice. And then the side windows are painted green to match this down here. You probably couldn't see that. Now, I'm almost done with the first season, and I can't for the life of me remember if these are supposed to be painted green or if they're black. So whichever one is accurate, that's how it should be here. So this might not, maybe be bad. I don't know offhand, so that's up to you guys to decide. I went back and looked at the couple screens of the character before I did the review, and I've forgotten. Because I wasn't looking at the windows, I was looking at something else. Anyway, he's got a decent amount of paint. Headlights are painted. He's got the silver around there. Different molded plastic on the front, so that looks good. Silver on the... I can't remember what that's called. Silver there, though. Black bumper, red taillights. Pretty good looking overall. Nice piece. He's got the silver roof rack on there. No paint on the wheels. Would have been really nice to have that, but we don't. He is kind of kibbly. Even from the side, you see all those body parts hanging down. Not too bad, obviously. From the front, it just looks kind of like the guts of a car, so it's alright. And from the back, he doesn't look so great at all. But you'll probably have him on display, probably at that kind of angle, and he looks good like that. He does have, of course, his big stupid weapon thing that snaps on up here, which is still just as stupid as it was in robot mode. You can go like that, and he's got a wrecking ball that just swings right above the windshield. So I guess if somebody's trying to climb into your windshield, you could hit them with that, but it's just really dumb. So get rid of that. display the figure if you're going to do it in vehicle mode without this. You can put the blaster on there, but it really doesn't look like a blaster. It looks more like a meat tenderizer, which maybe that's what it's supposed to be, but he holds it like a blaster, and it fits up here like a blaster, and I don't really care for it. I guess if you're going to put something on there, that looks more natural than the other thing, but in my opinion, leave them both off. Looks much better without them. There he is. I would say he gets I'll give him a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 if these are supposed to be the way they are. He needs wheel paint, he needs a little bit of paint here and there. The body panels don't snap perfectly together. They're kind of iffy in some places, especially up here. But overall, he looks really good. So 7/8 depending on the windows. Thanks for watching, guys. Real quick before I go, let me give you a measurement. Just about 6 inches, so Voyager class, no problem there. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos. And in the meantime, keep collecting.